What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. I'm happy you're back. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. It's going in an amazing speed, and I have some great news, I think, because it looks like Bitcoin is kind of trying to break out. And if it will succeed this time, it will change everything what has been done the last year. What do I mean by that? And are we finally out of the bear market? Let's take a look at that. Because, yeah, things are looking kind of interesting. As you can see, the whole market is, doing pretty okay. It's not like very big moves, but there are some pretty good gainers in the last, for 24 hours. We have Rune, Lido, DAO, Quant, Terra, Luna, Atom, Chainlink, Polygon, all these, the top 100 coins, they're performing quite well. They're performing quite good. Everything is finally going back up and have these amazing spikes. Why? Because, like I said, it looks like Bitcoin is finally trying to break out some kind of a range, which is most important in this entire year so far, right? And are we going to succeed? Well, let's take a look at the charts. If we take a look at Bitcoin right here, you know what I mean if I say that Bitcoin is going to break out once I explain this, right? So I showed you this many times. If you are a follower of this channel, you know exactly what this means. We have been in a bear market since November. Some people will argue that that we've been in a bear market since April, since we had this kind of a double top right here, give or take. But since November, this is the highest point. We got rejected here. We got rejected here again in March this year. And now we are here again. And now it's getting exciting because this yellow line right here, this line at around $18,500 is it's the support line of the year, right? Basically, since we have gone down, Bitcoin, it comes down, it goes a little sideways, goes down, goes a little sideways, small relief rally right here, goes down, little sideways, goes down. And now it's more than just a little sideways because we have been going sideways for over around, 4 months. That's quite a period, right? That means that this level right here at around 18 and a half, between 18 and a half and 20K is a very big support level for Bitcoin. And it almost seems for the bears like impossible to break every time they try, and it just doesn't work. Like the bulls are strong there, and the volume there is insane as well. Let me pull up the volume and you'll see that. Look how much volume comes in here at the moment that we are approaching this bottom, right? Here we are approaching this bottom. Lots of volume compared to, what it was, like these spikes. Then we had like a whole lot of nothing. And once we come down again to this region of 18 and a half, lots of volume. So it seems like a lot of bears on Twitter, like everybody is turning bearish now. And in my opinion, it's a little late to turn bearish now. But, it looks like, yeah, you could turn bearish right now. But on the other hand, this is not easy for the bears to break right here. Look at this volume. This is the highest spike that we had since like the last 2 years, something like that, like here in March 2020. Insane, right? So this line right here is a very crucial support line. This line is a line that is keeping Bitcoin up the entire time, right? And therefore also altcoins, right? And we must not, if you are bullish and if you are in coins or if you are long or whatever, we must not break this. This is a danger zone, right? If we break this, we can talk about the downsides. But like I said, we also, this line right here is, this line right here is keeping the bear market alive, right? Get there, rejected, all the way down. Get there, rejected, all the way down. Get there, rejected, all the way down. And now we are getting there again as we speak, right? And we had a fake out, which was, it depends on how perfectly I draw the line, but we basically touched that and got rejected again. Now, that's just a little fake out on the daily chart. Are we there yet? Is it now time to say like, oh, okay, well, we tried, nice try. Like this was in 1 hour, right? So what needs to happen now, if we want to break it today, and maybe by the time you watch this video, it already happened, maybe not yet. What we need to do is we need to close above, well, let's say above 20,200 and, close there, right? So what we should do is go above it, maybe retest, but close there as well. And then we finally maybe can use this line that has been holding us back for almost a year now. We can use that as support instead of resistance. Doesn't mean that the bear market is over. Doesn't mean we will approach a new bull market, but it means that there is a higher chance, in my opinion, that Bitcoin could go up way more, because we have these horizontal resistances, but also we have this vertical resistance, right? And this will no longer be a resistance then, but it will be a support line. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out. So we'll see about that. On the weekly, it's looking quite more interesting, because it looks like there it already broke out, right? But it depends on what time frame you use. I think on the daily chart we have the best overview. So if we, what I suspect, right, get rejected right here, then we could go back to, you know, around this support of 19,000, big support, and at max maybe 18,500, and we can still hover here for a long time, right? The moment that we should break out is around now the 15th of October, so less than 2 weeks. I expect within a week at least that we get a breakout to the up or the downside, depending on what news there is and how the market is responding. But one of the two moves is going to be big, and I don't see a lot of people talking about this. What should you do with that information? Well, maybe it's just giving you a little hope, like, finally we are getting out of this, this boring sideways movement that we have been in for so long. Like, at the low it was 17.5, and at the high it was 25. So there is a range, right? But basically, it's all sideways. If you zoom out and you compare it to the rest, this is down, sideways, down. But now we're going sideways for so long. So yeah, it looks like it's finally going to change. What happens if we break to the downside? I talked about this many more times, but there are more people, new people on the channel. So welcome. By the way, give the video a like, show some love, push it into YouTube's algorithm, trick them into thinking that this is good content. So what will happen if we break to the downside? What will happen? What do I expect? And what do I expect if we break to the upside, right? So let's start with the, and look, this is all relatively short term. In the long term, you probably already know what I'm thinking, right? If you're really in for the long term, fucking already buy here, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin goes to at least $200,000, and I will, I'm willing to take some kind of a weird ass bet with someone that if that doesn't happen the next bull run, then I like giving away half of my portfolio, or I give away my YouTube channel or something like. So I'm that confident, right? So, but okay, back to the topic. Sorry for that. What could be the downside? Well, you already kind of see I draw some lines, right? Some lines these are the support levels, like 16.5, give or take, 14,000, 12,000, and then 10,000, right? Some are big supports, some are not that big supports. But look at this yellow trend line, the most above trend line. This is where we are right now all the time. It's super strong support. We had a lot of support in the past? Well, if we take a look, then you'll notice that it really had nothing to do with this peak right here in 2017. Like it was in the middle. Like I would never guess that this was the resistance or support. I would have said like here 19.2 or here even better 17.7, right? That's more 17.2, right? These are big supports, but not this. So it's not that Bitcoin will fall all the way down till a new support level, because we made it support, right? If we break this now, that could happen, that we just find it support here for some reason, right? Or here. It doesn't have to mean we have to go to these yellow lines, but these yellow lines will give us some support if everything is correct, right? So, yeah, these are the levels. And why? Well, these are the big support levels that why this line doesn't make sense, by the way. This should be here, 17.8, right? It's also where we kind of bounce off here, right? Then we will be at around 16,000. We had a lot of resistance there, and did we have some here? We had something going on here. The big support will be at around 13.5, 13.7, something like that. That will be very big support. And you know, if we break that, then we will be at 12k. That's even way bigger support. Like you can see it, I don't even have to zoom in. We have a lot of resistance here, we had a lot of resistance here, we had a lot of resistance, and when we broke it, we flew, right? And then comes the 10k that everybody is talking about. Well, if we now already have so much trouble with this $19,000, I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't know, but I'm prepared. I'm prepared, right? You always should prepare. You always should keep in consideration that you are wrong, right? That's usually what works best. But that's if we break to the downside. Now, what if we break to the upside? If we break to the upside, then at least this line is not working against us anymore, but in our benefit. So there's a lot more room to breathe for Bitcoin, to put it like that, right? So then we have to look at these horizontals as well. And the first one, like this green line at $21,000, it's really not that interesting, to be completely honest. Like we have some stuff going on right here, but that's basically all there is. There's nothing here, and there's nothing back in 2017, right? So I don't think this is going to be a problem. I think the first problem will be around $24,500. We had a lot of stuff going on right here. We had a lot of stuff going on right here. And I bet you that if we go back, there's no back, of course, because we weren't that high there. But there's a lot of stuff going on right here in this region, but also not that magnificent. What I really consider the biggest support is around 29. You can never be so specific, like, I don't know, right? But around 29. We had a lot of resistance, support here. We had a lot of support here, and we have a lot of support here. And when we broke it, we really fell. So this is a really important level. Now, I'm not even talking about the moving averages. I'm not putting up any Fibonacci tools whatsoever. I'm just looking at the horizontals. That's it. Because these indicators could be already doing it for you, right? So these are the levels that I'm really looking at. So that's if we break to the upside. Well, and if we finally break that, then yeah, then we have to zoom out, and maybe it's better even if we put it on the weekly. It gives a little more perspective to get rid of all these smaller resistances. Then it's pretty clear that we will sit around 30. You know, we had 28, something like that, and the next one will be around 32. And after that, but you know, that's for then will be around 38, something like that. And yeah, but that's not even interesting for now. One thing I would like to say, as you maybe know the channel, you know that I always pay attention to the stochastic RSI. It's this right here. Why? Well, it's a very good indicator. If it's low and you buy, and it's high and you sell, you always getting your trades right. It's kind of a life hack, but it depends, right? Like here it was high, but we were sitting at around 50k. But here it was also high, and we were sitting at around 70k, right? So even this, you have to time it right. But still, if you sell here and you buy back here, then your trades are 9 times out of the 10 correct. Well, the last time that the stochastic RSI was that high, and it came like we are right now, basically. So it was that high, and we came down. Bitcoin fell 50% and 60%. So could it mean that we will have another 50% drop incoming from here? Kind of depends, because we could argue, you know, that if we fall 50% from where we are right now, like, yeah, that would be very terrifying, because that would put Bitcoin at around $10,000. But there's a but, right? There's always good to have a but. Here, we were also sitting very high. So this could have been the top already. So if we fall 50% from this level, then it's still bad, but it's not so bad, right? Because then we will be sitting at around $12,500. Also happens to be on this support line, by the way, right? So that could happen. But what also could happen is that the stochastic RSI does this, right? That we hover a little bit, that in the meantime, Bitcoin first does this, you never know, right? That happened before, definitely happened before. I mean, look at this here as well. We were high, you know, we came down a little bit, but still before it completely reset it, we first went up another, well, what was it? 40%, something like that. So this is definitely a possibility that this happens and that it then resets, but then the price has a lot more room to reset, so the price can maybe do this, and then it's bottomed out at around 20k. So that could mean that the bottom for Bitcoin is already in. And I like it to see that, you know, a lot of people are bearish, but I see more people talking about, okay, bottom might be in. If you follow me from the beginning of this channel, I was very confident in the fact that this was the bottom. But, you know, as time went by, I was more open to the idea that we could see a lower bottom, right? Although I think this would be my ultimate max, like around $13,000. I think if we get a new bottom, that will be my lowest low. Like there are also people talking about 6K. Come on, that's not like, no. I know macro. Every bear market has its bad narratives, therefore it's a bear market, right? So yeah, this time it's recession, last time it was whatever the fuck, I don't know, right? If we take a look at the DXY is still mooning. This is a crazy chart. This is a crazy chart, and this is already something that I can delete because, you know, this just keeps on flying. It doesn't necessarily mean that the higher this goes, the lower Bitcoin goes, because here it was May 21 up till November 21. DXY was going up pretty fast, but that was also the period that Bitcoin was finding new highs, right? So it doesn't have to mean anything. But as Bitcoin and crypto enthusiasts, we want this to go down. It can only work in our benefit, right? Now, the positive thing is that if we go down quite a lot, because this looks like the first big support level, right? 103, right? So let me draw a line there. This is a very important chart to keep your eyes on. This is the DXY. Put it in your trading view. This is, you know, this is the strength of the dollar. So the strength of the dollar against a bucket of you know, assets like stocks and crypto and like higher risk assets like that, right? So this looks like a very decent level. That's if we come down though, because let me make that green as that support. If we go further up, then, you know, we are making already newer highs since 2002, right? So that's like 20 years. We have never been this high. So you have to remember, this is good. This is something pretty good. So also perspective, right? The market in general, I'm not talking about crypto, but the market in general, and the dollar and the euro and the pound, everything that's going fucked up, like the dollar is going great, but, you know, euro, pound, recession, inflation has never been this bad in years, like in the first time of even crypto's existence. But while that happens, Bitcoin stays pretty strong, and it's doing relatively better than any other bear market so far, right? Could that mean that the big hit is still to come? Or does it just mean that people start to believe in crypto? Like, people are starting to believe in crypto. People now feel like, yo, but now we know. Like, there are good projects. Bitcoin never dies, right? How many times did Bitcoin die according to the media? But Bitcoin doesn't die. People still feel like it doesn't go away. Like, these bear markets are fucked up and it's boring and it's depressing, but people are not that scared anymore, I think. So people might feel like, yeah, the market can do whatever it wants because I'm gonna just buy instead of, oh shit, I gotta sell because it's never going back up again. That's what we had the last bear markets, right? 2018 was already slightly less than the years before, but every time it's getting better and better and better as people start to believe. You know, mark my words, as soon as this whole stuff is over, whenever it might be, and the bull market is back and people made a shitload of money and there will be a new bear market, that bear market wouldn't be as bad as this one. I think every bear market is going to get better, right? As people believe. It's also you know, also a bad thing because, you know, now we still have opportunities to get some good quality projects at trash can prices. That won't be in the future, I think. So keep that in mind. Sorry for the long video. I saw a comment from someone saying that my videos are too long, by the way. I kind of agree with you. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, please, so I can adjust to what you prefer. But there's just so much to talk about, and we are going to make it, man. And if you think half an hour is too long to get some education or motivation that you really need in this market, then yeah. But some people just don't have the time, and I get that, right? So, but the next level for the DXY could be 120. I expect that to happen if the market really turns bad as well. So, you know, if we get some bad news, then I think we could get there, right? So, and that's another, like, it doesn't look like a lot, but that's almost 10% up for the Dixie. That's not good for crypto at all, right? One other important chart to look at is the Bitcoin dominance. Why? Because you are, I don't know, but probably not a Bitcoin maxi. You probably like altcoins. You probably have a position in altcoins already. If you are smart, you have, right? So the Bitcoin dominance is basically the higher it gets, the more money is sitting in Bitcoin instead of altcoins. So we want this to be low, right? And no, it's not. Well, it's not necessarily true, because we want this to be high as long as Bitcoin goes up as well. If this goes up, but Bitcoin goes sideways or down, then altcoins are getting wrecked, right? Really wrecked. So that's not what we want. For now, it's sitting in this area right here for the last like 1.5 years for now. Yeah, it's not that interesting. It looks like it's, you know, trying to make some lower lows, to be honest. Like, this is a very strong level. If it breaks it, we have a little room here at 35%. But if we break that, then alt season is coming, guys. And alt season is really coming. So I'm now just patiently waiting. I have my position in altcoins. They're doing great today. But I'm not selling this little pump. Not doing that. I'm just waiting. If it really gets high, like, these are the times to get motivated, to just be like, okay, this is a little teaser of what we can expect. I'm not doing anything now. But if the market goes up further, then I do take some profit on my alts, I think, because I think we still have some more downside to go short term. If it goes down again, then I will maybe position myself even into more altcoins. That's what I would do, right? So that's what I wanted to show you. For now, there's not a lot to see. Like, yeah, alts are doing like, well, not a lot has happened in the last 24 hours, but slightly a couple days before that, they were already doing quite well. This is a coin that I bought at 6 cents, sorry, sold at 14 cents. So that was a little stupid because it went all the way up here, but I made some nice profits. Keep this in mind. It's not financial advice, but keep this in mind. Unison, I wouldn't buy here. Well, in the long term, I think this is going to be way higher. I'm waiting for a pullback up till 14 cents, something like that, to go really crazy on this, and especially at 12 cents if it gets there, because I think this thing will fly. It went up so much in a couple of days, did a 5x. It was incredible. So yeah, but it looks like an enormous pump, right? But if you zoom out and get the bigger picture, then you see where it's coming from, and then this is not even visible anymore. Like what the hell? But this is a real gem in my opinion. So yeah, just wanted to say that. For now, that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you have, thank you very much. Like the video. Leave a comment with your opinion about the crypto market at the moment. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.